What's up, everybody? Welcome, Squad Squad, and welcome back to Slav Guns on Tour. I'm here in somewhere really far up in northern Utah with Aaron
Cache Valley.
Wherever the heck that is, us Easterners. I'm here with Aaron from Anarchy Outdoors, and we're here making some videos, but in this one we're talking about something I have absolutely no clue about, which is Tikkas, but apparently they're popular and you make stuff for them.
So this is my personal opinion, and you can take it or leave it. One of the best factory actions you can buy out of the box is a Tikka.
And that's something that I've heard quite a few times.
I mean, if you're a snob, you could probably go a Seiko. So Seiko's like the same company, right? But it's a step above. It's like a Franke and a Benelli, right?
Okay.
Made by the same company, but one's more economical and one's higher end. So the Seiko is the higher end.
So that's your Acura to your Honda.
Right, exactly. So anyway, so we have right here, this is one of their new Tikkas. Their Tikka is slow to change to the market a little bit. Bagara has been stomping all over the market with their different configurations. So this is one of Tikka's new configurations. They finally changed some of their stocks and some of the adjustability and stuff. This is a 6.5 PRC. We brought it in because we ran out of Tikkas and we needed a new one. The beautiful thing about a Tikka is the actions are all the same size.
Okay.
So look at this. This is a 22 Tikka. Look, your action's the same size. Now they shortened it a little bit right here, but your footprint's the same.
And that basically is going to let you use a lot of the same accessories.
You use the same stocks. Same stocks. And for a Magnum Tikka, for a short action Tikka,
so even the Magnum Tikkas are the same.
Yeah.
Wow.
So they control it by the mag stop, the mag release. The mag release is different lengths, and that controls where the bolt stops.
Wow.
So
that's innovative.
That's one glorious thing about the Tikka is you can they're pretty interchangeable.
Very cool.
They're the bottom metal you can take this action and you could convert it to a Magnum by grabbing a different bolt and put it in a chassis that will take a Magnum magazine. So it's a great thing. Tikkas are great guns. We love Tikkas. I shot my first mule deer with a Tikka and 7 Remington mag last year. Great gun, just smooth out of the box. This one's got some flutes on it. Tikka's starting to catch back up with Bagara, right? Yeah. They're starting to innovate a little more. Their rifles are just so good, they're just hard to say no to. The one drawback is they don't have as much aftermarket support as a Remington 700 as we've got. Like
the Remington 700 probably has the biggest aftermarket.
Right, here you go. And this is the first actual Remington 700 we've ever owned at Anarchy. It actually says Remington on it. It was a model 700. Of course, it's a model 700. But this is we brought it in because that actually like must have got an old Remington. Yes. That feels good. Anyways, but so this is actually our first Remington. So we can make some parts for it and do some checks and QC stuff. But yeah, the ultimate accessory gun, Remington 700, right? For now.
All right, so here's the question. If the Tikka is so good, why do you make stuff for it?
Why do we make stuff for it? Okay, so here's the factory handle that comes on a Tikka.
Oh, wow.
It's short. It's better than the Ruger Americans.
Yes.
But it's short, and you can't accessorize it. So this, I think, actually comes with this one. It's a little bigger, and it's got a little bit of an angle bend, but we like the swept.
Yes.
The Tikka action is so smooth. We like the swept like an AI. It just runs.
Yeah. And
hard.
And as soon as they're racked, it's just so smooth.
Right. And we talked in one of our other videos is why we have so many different bolt knobs.
Yeah.
Well, it's for different applications, right? So for the Tikka, you're and because it has such an aggressive sweep to it, again, you're right there. Yeah. Coming up, but you can just palm that thing and drive it home. And I mean this product, I mean, this was probably very soon after we did the Ruger stuff because the Tikka was one of the best foundations for a PRS gun back in 2015, 16. A lot of PRS guns built off of Tikkas. Okay. They would buy because you could buy a Tikka action for, some gunsmiths specialized in it. Okay. They're buying the Tikkas for $500. throwing the stock away, throwing the barrel away, and that's a FFL cost or whatever.
Yeah.
That was back then. It's not that cheap anymore. But so they would just get donor Tikkas. So they'd throw barrels away and stocks away. One of my buddies going to the back of his shop, 300 brand new Tikka barrels just laying in the corner. I think he built like a rail out of them or something. But anyways, it was very much a beginner PRS rifle back in 2015, just because it's so smooth, and AIs were on the market, right? AIs are just legendary. Accuracy Internationals, they have a swept handle just like this. We were mimicking
plus video games.
Yep, plus video. We were mimicking that smoothness and that style, and it's different. A lot of our competitors make a simple handle with threads on it, just like that. We have one in the works because we've had requests for it, but again, going back to the marketing principles, you have to do something different and something unique. Yes. There's only 2 companies in the world that makes this. Yeah. There's us in the U.S., and there's a company in Australia.
Alex, and as soon as you handed me this gun, and this is actually my first experience with a Tikka, it just feels natural with this angle. It just feels amazing. It's like it's there. It's natural, and especially for somebody with like shorter hands, this actually makes it a lot smoother and a lot easier.
You flip it up and run it back with your finger, and you drive it home with the swell under your thumb. It's just a glorious thing.
Fantastic.
And the more you practice it, the better it gets. So we also make a scope base for the Tikka. Mm-hmm. We are currently working on a version that has a bubble level that's going in the back, and then we make a bolt shroud. The Tikkas had plastic ones.
Okay.
I think the CRT has an aluminum one.
Okay.
But you go buy your cheap T1x off the shelf, it's plastic. And we just like, sharp lines and good looking stuff. So it's this is probably the one gun we make a shroud for that's not necessary.
Okay.
Unless you break the plastic one, which happens a lot. But it's just a great. I mean that bolt now, that bolt looks like it came from the factory in one piece.
Oh yeah.
All the colors are really close. I mean the handle's a little off.
Looks great.
But the handle's brand new. It hasn't been out in the dirt and got the war look on it. So anyway, so that's the Tikka. So we make handles and bolt shrouds, bolt knobs, scope bases for the Tikkas, for their magnums and short actions. Sorry, go ahead.
So those are the Anarchy Outdoor parts. Do you carry other parts by other manufacturers, other accessories for the Tikkas?
The other thing we do is we have a trigger spring.
Okay.
It's a lot like the Yo Dave trigger spring. We went out and sourced them. We had a buddy of ours who spent a lot of time researching Tikka actions, and actually has a design of an aftermarket one.
Okay.
There's a few of them on the market, not a ton.
So there's no aftermarket triggers for?
No, it's an actual complete barrel. Like, you know how you have Defiance and whatever for Remington?
Yeah.
So my buddy has the plans for an actual full receiver aftermarket Tikka.
Wow.
And there's like 50 of them out there. Mm-hmm. I hope he makes them, spins them up again, but I don't know if he's going to. Oops. That's why you use good scopes, because you smash them together. But anyways, so that's for the Tikka. So we carry trigger spring.
Okay.
You can drop the factory trigger down. Mm-hmm. In our Ruger Precision video, we talked about not liking the factory trigger.
Yes.
The Tikka factory trigger is probably the best in any firearm or any rifle on the market. And then you can pop their spring out, throw our spring in for $10, and it drops the weight by half.
To what?
To just above a pound.
Wow.
Well,
fantastic.
Just above a pound.
So probably not recommended for hunting, but for precision rifle shooting. It depends how much experience you have as a hunter. Is it still drop safe? I guess that's the question.
Yes, it's still drop safe.
Okay.
Yeah, the Tikkas are still drop safe. It's all personal preference.
Yeah.
I have a hard time recommending anything to hunters. It's your skill level.
Yeah.
Me, I'm okay. I went deer hunting for like the second time. First time I ever shot at a deer last year. I set my limits to 700 yards. Mm-hmm. That was what I set mine to, and I killed my deer at 600. Oh. So I set knowing my skill, knowing how much time I had on the rifle, which was 0. But the rifle had killed a deer at 1,000 yards the year before. It was doped. It was sighted in. We had verified. Mm-hmm. So I set my personal, who had never shot at a deer with buck fever or whatever, I set my limit to 700 yards. We killed it at 600. So it's knowing your equipment and knowing yourself and not making dumb decisions when you're hunting. I think I hunted, we used a Tikka. It doesn't have the spring in it, but it's probably 2.5 pounds for a hunting rifle.
Very cool.
And then we carry the Timney trigger, which is a 2-stage, which this is the rimfire Tikka, the T1x. It has that. We carry the Bravo stocks for the Tikkas. It's a very inexpensive stock. Well, here you go. Here's the CZ457 in one. We already showed the Remington in the green one. They're sub $400 stocks that give you we could do a whole video on the Bravo chassis. Yeah, and maybe we should.
Gives you a nice vertical
It gives you everything you need from an $800 stock.
Yeah.
Like it just gives you everything. It's a great package for, anyways, we could talk all day on the Bravo stocks. It's just great. I mean, we sell them, KRG happens to be 2 days from us.
Okay.
And we get shipments from them twice a week.
Wow.
Like we sell a lot of Bravos with their accessories and different things. This, if you guys follow Clark Shooter on Instagram, Tier 1 concealed holsters, Clark Shooter is their marketing guy. This is the T1X that we set up for him that he uses. He doesn't do Arcarel bipods yet, so he's sponsored by Spartan bipods, I think, or Tier 1. Tier 1 out of the UK, I think. He's got some stuff, but he's not running an ARCA, so we don't have an ARCA on this because it's a gun that's used by him, set up for him. So here's the T1X. We created a bolt handle for it. We got beat to the market by our competitor in Australia, and he used an elegant design. So we didn't want to use something exactly like his. So we came up with a self-timing nut, just like a self-timing muzzle brake. So you can actually rotate, you can loosen this nut, and you can rotate this handle 180 degrees. So you can set it. It's set really close to the, me personally would not set this up like this, but it's how Sawyer likes it. So it's a little curved. It's actually kind of going against its bend a little bit. It's going against its bend just a little bit. It's more down. It's not flared. He backpacks with this and uses it for content, and he shoots it a lot too. But he's taking it in and out of a bag all the time. And then the way he shoots is tucked in tight. So he's just shooting just very tucked in and tight to it. So that's the great thing. And we make it for, we make the same handle for the Bagara B14.
Okay.
It's just missing, we put a little flange in here to make it aesthetically pleasing. This one didn't require that, but same concept. As you can see, this one's also bent and tucked in. But this is a show gun, so I don't know if anyone's actually shooting it. But that one's bent just a little bit tucked in. So for the T1X, we make a little muzzle brake because why not?
Why not?
It's the same diameter as the barrel. We make a scope base with a level in it. So for the Bravo stock, we have an extended mag release right here.
Okay.
And we talked about this in our video in the lobby.
Yes.
My brother-in-law shoots a Tikka T1X that's almost identical to this. He has an Arcarel and a couple other things. He shoots more competition than Clark Shooter does. So his gun is set up very much more like what my CZ over here is set up as. But he's the one that brainchild this. It's just a big fat mag release. So try this out. Hold the gun up, reach up without looking, and see how easy it is to pull the mag.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's as big as the pad of your finger. It fills the whole space. There's no going around it. There's nothing. It's I think it's a $14.99 upgrade that makes running the T1X in the Bravo chassis just phenomenal. Unfortunately, it's not compatible with the factory stock. It's just too fat. But he doesn't run the factory stock. He runs the Bravo.
What would make this better if you had a whale tail for it, but I guess the design is completely different.
Right. I mean, you'd have to come. Yeah, I think because what makes this one great is you just slip it. Just boom.
Yeah.
And it's as big as it needs to be. It's not. I mean, a whale tail on there would just be. Well, I don't think you couldn't do it because.
Correct, because the magazine would be
you drop it right on the magazine.
Unless you do it like around.
Yeah, no.
But
you $99 mag release. So just great setup.
Yeah.
We KRG has a ton of accessories. They have butt pads and risers and more. I have weights in mine. So these two on mine are weighted, so that when I hold the gun up, all the weight sinks back when I actually cock the butt out. And you do it how you're supposed to shoot, all the weight sits in the back of it, so it just rides in the shoulder pocket.
Very cool.
But yeah, so those are the Tikkas. We don't make a ton of stuff for them. We have a half a dozen products. We mentioned in the other video flushing out some of our product lineups. The Tikkas on the list, making some accessories like better bolt releases. The lug, there's a free-floating lug that's underneath the Tikka, making a stainless steel lug. And then we've been experimenting with the idea of, which is new ground for us, bottom metals.
Yeah.
So we've been thinking about bottom metals and thinking about one for the T1x as well, for the factory stock for the T1x.
Correct, because I would say, I'm looking at this, and the only thing that I would say, and one of the competitors to this one, we were talking about the Ruger Hunter in 6.5 PRC. That one uses AICS. Well, the long-range target uses AICS pattern magazines. This has a proprietary mag.
Yeah, Tikka loves to be proprietary. That's one thing that's hard with the Tikka. They love to be proprietary. They even did it with, gosh bless their heart, but they did it with the CRT. I love the CRT. If you want a comp gun ready out of the box, go buy a CRT, buy a Bravo chassis, done.
Yeah.
That's all you need. Problem is, I guess KRG now makes a Bravo that will take the CRT mags.
Okay.
Why they didn't make those AICS just blows my mind. Same thing with the frickin' TAC-1. They did everything right, but an integrated scope base and a non-standard magazine.
Yeah.
Those were the only two things that they did wrong. And we told them that 4 years ago at SHOT Show when they released that gun. We're like, look, guys, change these two things and you'll sell grundles of them.
Yes. Well, I guess, some people, a lot of the bigger companies, they still have old-time management who believes in making proprietary stuff because they think they can sell more of their own magazines to the brand faithful.
Well, why don't you just make an AICS mag and put your brand on it? Let's see here. Oh, this one.
I think somebody does that.
Hey, let's look at this one. Wait, what's that? Ruger. You know who makes this mag?
I believe
Accurate Mag.
Which is the leader in the space for
which is the leader in the space for AICS mags. Look, Ruger brand. It was just funny because we actually buy from distribution the Ruger mags.
Yes.
Because they're cheaper than buying Accurate mags.
Yep.
And we sell them. The one thing the Ruger has, though, is it has a binder plate, and the Accurate one doesn't have a binder plate.
For which caliber?
For the 308 mags.
Okay, yes. Okay.
Yeah, for the 308 mags. So you can reload the 6.5 Creedmoor a little longer if you buy one that doesn't have a binder plate.
There you go.
So, but if you're only going to shoot factory ammo, you then buy the Ruger branded one because it's $10 cheaper.
There we go.
So, but yeah,
awesome.
anyways, that is these two rifles.
So those.
You want to call Tikka now? I can see.
I do want to call Tikka when I get some.
Good luck. I don't know if they do a ton of marketing stuff, but dude, if you get one, you'll love it.
It feels like a solid rifle. I love
it. It might be worth you just buying one.
Yeah.
Like that one right there. We can send it home so that you can. It'll be there waiting for you.
Wait, are you done with this already?
No, but we can buy another one. We'll give you a good deal.
So, Aaron, thank you for educating me on the Tikkas and sharing what you guys have with the Tikka T3X. And once again, if you guys are looking for any accessories, either for your Tikkas, the Rugers, the Ruger Americans, Ruger Precision Rifles, or even the Savages, Thompson Centers, what else did I miss?
Winchester.
Winchester, yes.
Soon to be Browning, X-Bolt and A-Bolts.
There you go.
And maybe a Mossberg if you can come through on that.
I'll send one in. So if you're looking for any accessories for your precision rifles, Anarchy Outdoors, Aaron, thank you for having me here. And thank you for letting me play with all of these guns here on the table. And as always, thank you guys for watching. Keep on squatting, and we'll see you in the next video.